Oh, okay, Mrs. Smith. I'm talking with Alma Tilly Smith, right?
That's right.
In her home at 600 North. North 12th.
12.
Yes.
That's right.
And when did you were born in?
Fountain, Colorado, just in on the eastern slope.
Oh, right, over by Colorado Springs.
Mm-hmm.
In 1910.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. April 18th, 1910,
right.
right? Yes, okay. And who were your parents?
Samuel Dillie and O.C. Collins Dillie.
And how many children did they have?
How many? I'm sorry, I can't hear very
Oh,
good.
okay. How many children?
3.
3.
Mm-hmm. 2 boys and a girl.
Oh.
I expect you know Sandra LeMay.
Right. That's how many children you had, right? Yeah, right.
3.
You had William, Rodney, and Sandra.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, and when did you first come to Gunnison?
The first time,
Mm-hmm.
I was about 2.5 years old when I went through here in a covered wagon.
Oh, where were you coming from?
Hotchkiss.
Oh.
My folks had a farm, fruit farm down there, and they was headed back to the eastern slope, and they come through here with my grandparents and 2 or 3 cousins of my dad's.
Do you remember it?
I remember part of it. I remember coming over the Black Mesa, and I was about 2.5.
Yeah.
And I remember we was camped down there in the trees, you know, where the old stone barn sits down there. You
right, out on McCabe property?
Yeah, you know, just in the trees along there. And I remember part of that, but I don't remember anything from here going back to the east. I don't know why I remember those little things, but I remember the trip over, part of the trip over Black Mesa, and then camping down there.
Was that a bad road even then?
Oh yeah, it was just two way, or just one lane really.
Yeah, right along the edge of the canyon. Well, then when did you come back to Gunnison?
Well, then I came back, I went through here different times on vacation with my parents just for a few days. My uncle and aunt lived on the, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
Resort, Fountain Place Resort.
Oh.
They owned it down there.
Oh.
My uncle built that brick.
The Never Sink? Was it Never Sink? Or Never Sink? Was it the Never Sink Resort or a different one?
Yeah, just on the other side. It's a public park now.
Right.
You know, just for overnight, not overnight. I don't think.
For fishing, I think. Yeah.
But and then to come back, I came in 1925 or 27, and stayed with my uncle and aunt for the summer.
Now, were they the Welches? Is that? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Then I went back to there, and from then on I was just back and forth. But to come over after I was married was in 1934.
Where did you meet your husband?
Here.
Right.
Down there. He was foreman on the ranch up above. It used to be Meyer Ronald's ranch, up Beaver. And I met him there.
Oh, okay.
And let me see, it was in 1931.
Oh, okay.
And then we was married in 1934.
Right. And so then you came to live here.
And then I came here. I worked over in Colorado Springs then to the county farm hospital. And from then on, I've been here except just to, go back and forth.
Right. So when you got married, where did you live here?
Where did we live? When we first come back? Oh dear. Mrs. Flick calls it the honeymoon cabin.
Oh, really?
I'm so sorry, I can't remember. I can't. The mine up there. Oh dear.
Vulcan?
No, it's
it's the other way.
It's
along Gold Creek, is it?
No, it's south, over toward Iris, I think. Oh, I can't think
Well,
of
that's
it.
all right. It's not. Yeah.
But we lived there then. Bill had built a little cabin for a room. We moved in there, and he was foreman on the mine up there.
Oh, okay. Was it a coal mine or a
no
gold?
No, it was gold and silver.
Gold and silver. Okay.
And I wish I
oh, you'll think of it, or it doesn't matter. Really.
And but we wasn't there too long. I think then we moved down to one of the cabins of the resort of my uncle's.
Oh, okay.
And just for a few weeks. And he worked on the road, Blue Mesa Road.
Oh, okay.
And then he started coal mining and driving a truck.
Oh, where was he coal mining?
Up at Jim Hare's, up at Baldwin. At
Baldwin,
this side
yeah.
of Baldwin.
Yeah, the old OC mine, or a different one?
Coal mine.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Seems to be working.
But, and then he just worked hard, and I never worked out after we was married.
Well, you had 3 children to take care of.
Yes, I sure did.
Yeah.
And some of the time other kids, nieces and nephews. And just home and worked hard. But enjoyed it.
Well, tell me about your husband's father, Joseph. Smith.
He was really, his name, he changed his name after he came to the United States. And he landed in New York on his 18th birthday.
Oh my goodness.
And he left Czechoslovakia with a younger brother. He brought a younger brother with him.
Oh.
And I don't know what he'd done between New York and how he landed out here, but he was a baker, master baker. I mean, that's what he done at home. And but he had mining on his brain. And so he was a miner then from then on. Well, when he come to Colorado, he mined and ranched. And then he was the president of a mine in Taos, New Mexico. And that's where he and Mother Smith was married.
Oh, okay. And Arda Smith was
Arda B. Smith, Little.
And where was she from?
She was from Nebraska, McCook, Nebraska, when they married, but she was born in Missouri.
Oh, okay. And so they got married in Taos.
In Taos. She went down there to visit her sister, who was married to a miner down there. And she went down there originally to teach. She had taught in Nebraska. And she went down there to visit and thought she'd teach. And got married.
She met him. And then when did they come back to Gunnison?
Around the 1900s. I don't know exactly when. They lived in and I don't know how they happened to come to Gunnison. Mine, to begin with, but they did ranch, and they had a ranch out here north of town, and then they had one over on the toward Vulcan.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's where I got the Vulcan mixed up about the Vulcan, right?
And he mined up there.
Oh, and that was gold mine up there, yeah.
No, gold. Yes.
Yeah.
And then he located a mine up Steuben, and the family still has it.
Oh, really?
I guess because of the government is now, but they've kept up the work on it. And
is that a gold mine too?
Well, no, it's manganese.
Oh, manganese.
And he was up there then for a long time, although he mine around all over the country here, you know. And he mined over in, Craig.
Oh, okay.
And had quite a, I mean, he was over there for quite a long while, and around Silverton. And all this time, Mother Smith did have a home down West Town here.
Oh, okay.
And that's where... Well,
down by where the nursing home is, right? Yeah.
Just right there. In fact, just across the street.
Yeah.
Let me see, she didn't have any children born there, but they had 9 children.
9? Okay.
They
And some of them died, too,
Yeah,
right?
2 of them.
Yeah, 2 died.
The first one died in Taos. And then the other one died in 21, I think it was, with Upiqua. But then they still... And there's 2 brothers still living.
Oh, which brothers are still living?
Irwin.
Oh, okay.
And Delta. And Carl over in Canyon City.
Oh.
He's the youngest one.
Oh, okay.
And then there's just
was that the one your sister was married to? Carl. Oh, okay. Is your sister still living?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's
yes.
good.
They have been down in Alabama until just a 3 months ago when they moved here to Canyon City and have a home over there.
So 2 sisters married 2 brothers. How did that happen?
Well, she came over to stay with me when my first baby was born. And, I mean, to be with me.
Right,
you know,
right.
And just stayed.
Oh.
And she met Carl. We call him Bud.
Bud, right. Yeah, that's what Audrey told me.
And they've had a real good marriage, but they lost a boy in a fire over at the academy. In April, just after my husband died.
Oh, and your husband died in 1958? Yeah.
57.
57, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, you would know. You would be accurate on that. I wouldn't necessarily.
The thing of it is, I don't forget, but it's hard for me to remember at the right time.
Right.
But
well, dates are not that important.
Well,
really.
No.
I mean, events are, but not dates.
No,
really.
I guess not.
Yeah. I mean, you remember his death. You don't have to remember.
No.
The year.
But then I've lived right here since.
Yeah. Now I heard Audrey said that Joseph was a very strict father. He was very strict.
He was a good father. I mean, he provided. Like most of them did then. He was German though, and you know his word was law. Yeah. But they had a good life. I mean, Mother Smith made it a good life, and she was a wonderful person. And he was. I didn't know him that well. He died just before Bill and I was married, but I had known him for 3 years, different times. But and he was a good father, and he had 9 sisters and brothers, and I knew didn't actually know the brother that come back. His name was John, and they lived down in over close to a rifle. And he had 1 daughter, and I don't know what ever become of her. I've lost track of it.
Yeah. But, there are a lot of Smiths, and I looked at what Ann Zugelder had done, a family tree, and there were a lot. With all the children of Joseph and Arda, and then who they married, yes, and then your children, and then your children's children.
She knows a lot about the Smiths after. After they come here.
Yeah. Well, now, you lived here during the Depression. Was it difficult?
Well, Bill and I was just talking about it. My oldest son lives over here, and he's here every day practically. and has dinner with me at night. Has had for a month, and we was just talking about that, the depression, and well, yes, it was hard, I guess, but we got along fine.
How'd you get along?
We learned how to do without a lot of things, and of course, we never had a lot of things anyway to begin with. But he worked hard and had a job all the time.
Oh, he could always get a job in mining. Was it in mining?
Yes, he was mining and driving a truck, coal truck, and then he worked in a garage too.
Oh, as a mechanic. I just said he was a great mechanic.
Yeah, he's a great mechanic. All the boys were mechanical, especially the three. Irwin was not as mechanically inclined as the rest of them, but Bill and Bud were. And of course, Lawrence was a railroader.
Oh yeah, that's right. I read it. Yeah. Yeah, he worked out of Grand Junction after they took out the train here.
After he left here.
Yeah, I saw his obituary, I guess, in the file. Yeah. Well, now, Arda said that all the children came back here during the Depression, and Arda had a big garden that helped feed them.
She did. She had a big garden, and they were here off and on. Grace lived in Denver, and so did Doris. That's the youngest daughter. And then, of course, Lawrence and Bill and Bud was here, and Irwin was in McCook, Nebraska. Oh. And at that time, well, let me see. This was after that, so that he went to Nebraska. They lived. He worked for Governor. No.
Thornton? Oh, okay.
He worked for him before they went to Nebraska. And then they went back to his wife's dad's home in Nebraska, where she was raised.
So, were they all able to get jobs here then during the Depression?
Now, Bill and Irwin, of course, Bud wasn't. Well, he wasn't as old. He was the youngest one.
Oh, right.
But they worked. They found work. Sometimes it was just piecemeal, you know. But they worked, and they gave their mother half of everything they earned.
So did they all live at the house?
No, I don't think. Now the two boys did. Irwin and the younger one, Bud, and Bill. And Lawrence was married about that time. And the girls were. Let me see. Two of the girls were in a nurse's training. One had graduated, and the other one, the youngest one, Doris, was in nurse's training. And but they all worked hard. They was all hard workers.
And so their mother could get on because they gave her half of what they earned. And then did you all use her garden?
Well, the ones that was here, yes. Now Lawrence lived over here in South Gunnison, he and his wife, and she raised garden for practically all of Gunnison. All the neighbors. She had a big garden, and so did we then when we lived down in West Town.
What did you grow? Lettuce and potatoes and
potatoes
carrots?
Was the main big crop, but we raised lettuce and cabbage. She did. I never raised cabbage, but she did, and had a big garden.
And then you went to Telluride too during the Depression, didn't you?
Yes, we did. We was. Let me see. Irwin was over there mining, and he got a contract, and he wanted Bill to come over. And at that time, we was up Steuben. No, not the first time. Bill quit his job driving a truck, I guess. And we went over there, and we was over there 2 or 3 years, I guess. And that was just kind of the end of the Depression. and he made good money, and then his mother wanted him to come back and go up and up at the mine, because they were mining up there then at that time, and she had a fellow by the name of
up to the Magnet.
And so we moved up there. That was before Sandra was born. And so then when she...
Was that hard living up there?
No, not really. No. We just had a 2-room cabin. And then eventually Bud and Dorothy, the younger brother and my sister, moved up there. And we had the 4 little boys. And no, it wasn't hard at that time.
Did you share the cabin with them?
No,
they had their own.
They had another cabin.
Yeah.
And
was it hard to get up there on the road, or?
No, not really. No, I had a friend, lifelong friend, my oldest friend. We played and have been friends. She's still living since we was 8 months old.
Oh my goodness!
And she and her husband and children came over, and she thought. Then they come at night, and she thought it was just terrible. But of course, she was from Colorado Springs in the city, you know. But no, it wasn't really hard, and we come down once a week to grocery shop, and I done a lot of my ironing down at Mother Smith's. But it was, and I look back now, and it was fun.
And well, what about were the boys in school?
My boys? No, they were just little.
Oh, okay.
They were, when we was up there, they were just all 4 and 5.
Yeah.
3 and 4.
Yeah.
Just
small. Yeah.
And so we was up there then until, I think that we went back then. Well, he stayed up there and worked at the mine until they thought they had it sold, but they didn't.
So they would take out ore and ship it? Is that what they had to do?
They didn't ship too much because at that time there was no way to get it except by truck, and it was good ore, but it didn't pay at that time. There was too much other mines, you know, and so they could have sold it but hung on to it and still have it, but they'll never do anything with it, I don't think, you know. But we lived up there, and then I think we went back to Telluride. Well, I know we did. Yeah. Because Sandra was born over at Telluride.
Oh, she was. Now, when Audrey said something about you lived in Telluride in one room, and Bud and your sister were there too?
It was 2 rooms, but when we went there, Bill said, well, he come over after us, he and Bud, and we were supposed to have 2 apartments in this old building. There's well, you know what the old mining buildings were, just straight up, you know. Yeah. Well, Dorothy and I was just we had the 2 little boys, and so we wanted to move over there, and so they come after us, and we had a terrible trip going back, but when we got there it was night, and we walked up just a narrow stairs to the 2nd floor, and when we got up there, they just had the 1 apartment. It was 2 rooms, but just the one. We were supposed to have the 4. 2-room apartments on the same floor. Yeah. But they didn't have but just the 1. So Dorothy and I moved in there with 4 little boys and got along fine. We was together, you know, and we had fun, and the boys were up on the lake where they building to put it in a lake, and they was working up there and stayed during the week, you know.
I see.
Neither one of them was home at the same time, hardly. You know. So we had a good time, and it's fun to think about, and we got along fine. But that place that we went to, it was night, and Bill said, "Oh, I shouldn't say it, but Jesus Christ, he says, if I'd have known this, you'd have never come over. I'd have never come after you. And he says, if it wasn't so, if I didn't have to be to work in the morning on at the mine, I'd turn right around and take you back. Yes. But we didn't live there too long, and then we got a little house right next to it. And we was there then until, well, I guess we lived there. And I was going to say Dillie started kindergarten there, but we moved in. Irwin had a home over there, and it was empty, and we moved in there.
Oh, well, that was good.
And and Billy, the oldest boy, started kindergarten there. But
and Sandra was born over there.
Yeah. She was 5 months old when we come back. But,
well, was it dangerous, the mining work that they did?
Well, not really, I guess. Although the night that Sandra was born, they were supposed to have I was supposed to have a room at the hospital, and the doctor come, and Dr. Parker was it, and he said, Bill, I hate to tell you this, but he says they've had a terrible explosion at the mine, and every room in the hospital is full. And I don't remember too much about that, although I know that it was bad. And
so did you have to have her at the house?
So we had it at the house, and well, all the children were born at home. But we hadn't planned it that way. But
right.
my mother come over from Colorado Springs and was there with me.
Oh, well, that's good.
And then Dr. Parker's wife was pregnant at the time, and she come down during the birth. So we got along fine, and then I don't know.
Was the doctor able to come, or?
Yeah.
Oh, he was. Yeah. I thought maybe the accident kept him away.
He come and
oh, well, that's good.
I thought maybe I'd have Sandra earlier if he hadn't been right there.
Oh, but you didn't.
No.
That works well. I hope it works well. There. Okay. Sorry. I just wanted to make sure it was focused. But you never worried about your husband when he was working in the mine?
No, not too much. Of course, you always do. I did even when he worked in the coal mines, you know. But he was a miner. I mean, you know, he couldn't stand heights, but he loved the mine. And yeah, I worried, but I guess everybody does, you know.
Do you think mining was more dangerous in those days than it is now?
Oh, yeah.
Why was it so dangerous?
Well, I don't know. I don't think there was this particular about the inside boarding it up and all as they are now. I don't think they was as strict. But the big problem was they had to ride a tram from the bottom of Telluride Hill up to the mines, up into the mountains, and that Bill didn't like that.
Yeah. Well, not if he didn't like heights. I bet he didn't like that.
And I was surprised that he even considered going over, but it was good pay, and he went and he got along okay. I think he hit his head.
Yeah, I would have.
But and then when they went up on them, I wish Bill was here to help me. Where they spilled in the dam, the water for Telluride. It was about 7 miles up on a hill, right up Vale.
Yeah, I don't know Telluride.
No, over there. But and they had to ride a tram up there or go on a narrow trail. And of course, he took the narrow trail. But his brother rode the tram a time or two. He wasn't supposed to because it wasn't safe. They just had the tram mostly for that's up to the lake. That not the mine. The mine tram was all right, I think. It's kind of like the ski trams
Yeah,
are now.
yeah, right. Did they? And they never had an accident on it?
No, not that I ever.
Yeah.
Not while I was there.
Yeah.
And but then when they went up to the lake to work, when they went to the lake to work, they had to either travel with mules or walk.
Oh.
And they walked in. Well, before we left there, Sally was just a baby, we left her with a friend, and the boys and Bill and I and another couple walked clear up to the lake.
Oh, I bet it was beautiful, huh?
Just gorgeous, but Bill stayed until they had to drill down, and he stayed until they blew it. And I was glad that was over with.
Yeah.
And then we left after that.
Because it was pretty dangerous when they started using the dynamite and stuff like that.
Well, they had to, they drilled from the top down to hit the water.
Oh.
And yes, it was the biggest part. In fact, there was a report that the doors, they had double doors, big heavy steel doors that had broken loose, and if it had have done that, why the whole town of Telluride would have been flooded. See, but it didn't. They held good, and that was just a report that we got downtown. So it all turned out all right, and he stayed until the project was done, which he was, he was proud of that.
Oh, sure.
So then we come back, and he went to work at the garage again.
Jim Chapman. Is that? Yeah. Now, Audrey said he died of minor lung disease.
No, it was a cancer of the liver.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't from being in the mine.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he didn't. His lungs was all right that way, but
good.
he just was full of cancer. And I didn't. A lot of it's kind of blank. I was in shock, and I can't remember all of it. But Billy lived down here on the river then. He was married by that time, and he come to take his dad to the hospital. And Bill smoked. Smoked a lot. And he tried.
A lot of people smoked in those days. So,
and he come home and he quit. And he never smoked again, but then he didn't live very long either. I think that was in, when he really got real bad, and I knew that he was real sick, it was on Thanksgiving, and we was on our way to Colorado Springs. Sandra and her husband lived over there then.
Okay.
And we went over there for Thanksgiving, or started over there, and he got to the foot of the pass here, and he said, I don't feel good. He said, I don't think I can go on any farther. And we turned around and came back. And it was kind of, it was on Thanksgiving Day, because we was going early that morning. And then from then on, he wasn't well, and it was real sudden, which I'm thankful for. He didn't have to suffer, but he was in hospital up here 2 weeks, and then the doctor sent him to Colorado Springs to Memorial. And he was over there then until he died. So
that must have been a difficult time.
Yeah, it was. And just at Christmas time, it was 11th of December.
Oh my goodness, he wasn't sick very long.
No, he wasn't. Actually, just about a month.
Yeah, no wonder you were in shock. Because he had,
And I didn't realize. I mean, I look back now, and I didn't. Well, I don't know if they even told me that it was cancer until he was in the hospital up here, you know, and that was just, well, just shortly after Thanksgiving, because I think he went in, well, I know it was, because Thanksgiving Day, and then the next day Bill took him up to the doctor. So.
Well, you must have seen a lot of changes in Gunnison.
I think I have. I've seen the horse and buggy and the cars. And I remember, of course, the first car and the first. We lived on the eastern slope, and of course, my dad was foreman on a ranch over there, and buggies and horses, and then the airplanes. And
right. Have you flown in an airplane?
Oh yes, I went to Ireland.
Oh, did you?
And I went to Nassau.
Oh.
And
so you've been all over the world.
Been on the East Coast and on the West Coast 2 or 3 times. Bill's older sister lived out there. Oh. And I was out there after. We went once before Bill passed away. Well, when little Michelle was the baby, we went out the first time. And then I was out several times after Bill passed away, and Viola was out there, so I went out there and went to Florida, and I enjoyed my trip to Ireland. I wanted to go so many years. I wanted to go, and
your grandparents were from Ireland. Is that right?
No. If they were so far back, but I was Irish, and I just wanted to go. That's one place I wanted to go. So
did you like it?
Oh, I'd love to go back, as old as I am, but I never will, of course. But Rodney was a pilot on the Frontier airplane then, and he took me over. He wasn't pilot,
right.
But he and his wife took me, and we had a great time.
Well, when you look back, I mean, it must have been hard raising families in Gunnison when you were doing it.
Well, yeah, but it would be to children or young people now the way we was, because but we never knew anything different than, you know.
So do you think it was easier than raising children when you raised them than today?
I think it was easier then, because there wasn't so much. There wasn't drugs, and you knew where your children were. And of course, we raised ours. If they changed their plans when they left home, you know, after they was in school or school someplace, they always called us and let us know. And no, I don't think it was as hard then as it is now. I'd hate to be raising them now.
Yeah, I would too. I know.
Do you have any children?
I have a daughter, 25. She was a year ahead of Travis in school, and I think a couple of years behind Jarrett. Yeah. So.
Does she live here?
Well, right now she's in the Peace Corps, and she went to West Africa, but she's coming back December 11th. So we're very excited. But I think she'll probably go someplace to get a job. Yeah. It's hard to get jobs here.
Sure it is.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, what changes have you seen in Gunnison?
Oh dear, a lot. It's built up so, you know, when we moved here, probably 35 years ago, there wasn't anything around here. There was a little house across here, and there was 4 little houses along on Audrey Street. There's four little houses there, and there was nothing up this way, and hardly anything down here, you know. But
and was the street paved then? It probably wasn't, was it?
No, I don't. Yeah. I can't remember. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, because I think it was like the late '60s that they paved the streets.
Well, it must have been. It must have been.
Oh, because you moved here 35 years ago. So
yeah.
It's 95. Yeah. Well, just about 54, that time.
I think we moved here in 53 or 54.
Oh, okay, so probably they wouldn't have been paved then.
No.
Yeah.
And this house was a log.
Oh.
But Rocky Warren lived here. I think he bought it from Overstags, and he built 2 rooms off there, and up until then it was all log.
Oh.
And he built that and had this cellar for his dark rooms.
Uh-huh.
And,
yeah.
and then we bought it from Cowan's.
Uh-huh.
And there was hardly anyone around here. There was nothing there. Smith's, Dale Smith lived next door.
Right, I remember, yeah, because the Craners bought the house from them.
They're no relation to
yeah.
us.
I always wondered that.
No.
I wondered, yeah. Was
No,
that,
they weren't, but old-timers. We knew them all. And they lived next door, and then I don't think there was anybody on.
Okay. Yes.
And there wasn't any houses across the street here. And,
well, how has the town changed for the better, and how has it changed for the worst since you've been here?
I don't think it's changed for the worst. I miss the small part of it, you know. We always had a small West Side grocery.
Yeah,
We traded there when we first came here, when we first married, and through the years we traded there, and I mean most of the time, you know, and I liked that part. And
they were there. They were there when we first came. Yeah, so they for about 5 or 6 years, I think.
Yeah. Well, they was there when we was married. Ray Marsh and Bill was real good friends, and his brother-in-law. Well, they had the stores together, but they didn't have it when we first started trading there. But it was the West Side Grocery.
Right.
And then the schools were different. Of course, they had the boys didn't have the high school out here just going out. You know, it's been built since then.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It has.
So they
like 72 or something like that, or 70 or right.
And they walked from West Side to school a lot of the time, and then in the wintertime they had a bus that come down as far as Wildwood, and they'd have to meet the bus there, and there was a time or two that I didn't like to send them out because it was just bitter cold, and I know one time they all 3 started out and Sandra was just little, and pretty soon the door banged open, and here come Rodney and Sandra in the door, and they was practically froze, you know.
Yeah.
I said, well, where's Bill? And he went on to school. Yeah. He liked school.
Yeah. Well, it must have been one of those minus 40 degree mornings.
Yeah. And I have seen a 60.
Oh, have you?
Not down there, but down on the river. Yeah. When I was with Aunt Flo and Uncle Clyde, there was 2 or 3 different. He drove the school bus a year or 2, and it was 60 and 61, 2 or 3 different times.
And I mean, 25 below is cold, but 40 below is so much colder. I can't imagine what 60 would be like.
And when it gets that cold, you don't hardly know it.
That's right. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But and then the work was different. Bill and his brothers and put up ice. They had the old ice house down there, you know, and they put up ice in the wintertime for the city, you know. Yeah. And he hauled ice to Salida at night.
In a truck, right?
When Billy was just a baby then, and I'd go with him, you know. But I can't say that it was hard. I'd like to sit as easy now as it was then.
Right.
But different.
Yeah, yeah.
Billy says you can't stop progress.
No, I guess not. I mean, it's nice to have the stoves that are more efficient, isn't it?
I'd like to have a fireplace, but I'm too old to even think about it now. But we had to shovel coal in and out and take it out.
That's right.
And it was cold to feed the chickens. We had chickens down in West Town.
Did you ever have to, like when you were up on the mine, did you have an outhouse? Or
yeah. We didn't have a inside bathroom until we moved here. Well, in Telluride, but we lived up at the mine for a while and had an outhouse, and you wonder how they done it. Yeah,
especially when it got real cold.
Oh yeah, it was cold.
I know, and especially with children. I mean,
But that's the way that a lot of people lived then.
Yeah. And if you don't know it, if you don't know any better, it seems all right. It's just acceptable.
Yeah, and see, that's a good many years ago, you know, and it's changed. In fact, we had some boys, when the boys were in high school, they had some friends from New York come down there, and of course we had the outhouse then and the water pump outside. Didn't have inside water. And I remember one of them was leaning on the pump and he was going like this, and he says, "Don't do that, that's where we get our water." And he looked so surprised. He didn't know really what it was, you know. And I was standing in the door, and he says, "Get your water." And Ronnie said, "Yes." And I just handed him a bucket, and I said, "Fill this bucket." And he pumped water, and that was an experience for him.
Right, yeah. Well, will you ever, do you want to stay in Gunnison? You don't want to leave, I take it.
Oh, no. No. Bill had two real good opportunities. One to go to California to go in business with a cousin out there. And we thought about it a lot, but we just liked it here, and our boys was in school, high school, and we didn't want to change them, and it would have been a big change. And then when Breckenridge really started out, they wanted him to come over there and manage the toll roads, you know, and work over there. And he thought about that. In fact, he went over and looked at it and all, and we talked about it, but decided to stay right here. And so we never moved. And then after he passed away, my folks and home was over in Colorado Springs, but I didn't want to go. And I'm glad I didn't.
The Springs has really changed, hasn't it?
Yes, and when I go over there, I'm just, I remember all the old streets and everything, but they're built up so. I have my oldest brother lived over there always, well, forever, and my younger brother still lives there. And when they moved out there, well, 25 years ago, there wasn't anything out east of them. It was just, and now then they're built up until...
I know. They'll be built clear to Denver before they're done. Yeah, they will. Yeah. Very nice. Even Gunnison is growing.
Oh, yeah.
And look at the addition behind Lake School.
Boys took me out here a year or two ago, up over, they had some good friends that lived over on across the river here, and they took me up there. I couldn't believe that they'd built houses up in every little canyon and gully.
I know.
And when the boys was growing up, there wasn't their friends lived on the last ranch up there. And then out this way, I just can't believe it.
I know. The road to Crested Butte, even in 2 years, you go now and there's houses all along the whole way.
And I don't know what people do here.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of them, like Sandra says, she works down there at the Ford, and she says there are people that come in, well, from Texas and California, and buy up or build here, and they stay one winter.
Yeah.
And they think it's just beautiful, which it is in the summertime.
Yeah, it is.
And you can't look or find any place any prettier.
Yeah, no, you can't.
But
and when everybody in the country is sweltering, we are cool. Yeah.
And but she says then it's so surprising that so many of them have been here a year and then they take off and go back.
Yeah.
But a lot of them stay too.
Yeah. Right, that's true. They do, or they come back in the summers. The winters, though, do you find the winters hard?
Well, for me, no. Not of course. When the children were growing, it wasn't other than having them out in it. I never noticed it, and like you say, going to the outhouse. But no, I didn't. I never did mind the winter. In fact, I liked the winter when I was younger, and now then I'm so old that I don't get out only when I have to. And Sandra and Bill take me when I do go.
Yeah.
So, and I don't go at night, very seldom. I used to. I don't drive anymore. I quit driving a year ago. And so I don't go out at night.
Yeah. Well, you get a lot of things done in the winter.
Yeah, up until this winter I've sewed a lot and crocheted, embroidered and crocheted and handwork and entertained myself.
You bake too, right? Audie tells me you bake.
In fact, I've got to quit it too because I didn't feel very good this morning. I love to, but I've gotten so that I can't stand on my feet very long at a time.
Right.
And so it's hard for me, and I don't suppose I ever will again, but...
Well, you can get, now they have these bread machines.
Well, I know,
and I'm going to do that.
Well,
I love to make bread. But,
I do too, and
it just takes a long
like
time.
Sandra says, she doesn't want one because she loves, and that's the part I like, is the kneading and making the bread.
Yeah.
But my sister has one over there in Canyon City, and she just loves it. My sister-in-law down in Delta has one, and she just loves them, you know, but... Well, and I don't break that much anymore. I'd like to, but I just don't. I'd love to get a big dinner. In fact, I'd like to have Christmas dinner. I'd love to cook and have the family all here and anybody else I could think of, but I'm not able to anymore.
Well, you're 85 years old. Yeah, that's pretty good.
So
Well, I really enjoyed talking with you, and I think you told me you didn't have anything to say. I think you have a lot to say.
Not anything real important or exciting, no.
Well, thank you.
Well, you're welcome.